Okay guys, it's gonna be a really short video. I'm here with my favorite Eachine F22 Raptor, and yesterday I tried this over and over again. It just would not fly, and well, technically it would fly, but just about a foot off the ground, and then it would twist, spiral, and then land on the grass. So that's not what we want. Yesterday the motor was about all the way back here, and it was just not doing what I needed it to. I've made a little bit of an adjustment here where now the plane no longer looks scale. I've cut some of the tips here for the vertical stabilizers on each side, and I've pushed this motor all the way in. It seems the motor may be okay. I was wrong. I don't think the actual gear in there is stripped, but we'll have to figure that out in a second and see if that's actually the case or not. I think what happened is most people will know at this point that metal sometimes does not stick very well to plastic. So when this used to be like new, it was probably a tight fit. So the plastic was a little bit tighter or smaller than the metal. And so when you push it in, that would go in fine. I think possibly as it was falling over and it landed on its head, this propeller touched the ground or something and then slid off this piece. So we can try gluing that back in and see if that actually fixes the problem. So maybe that's even better than it being a gear issue, because as you can see here, it seems fine now, but I'm pretty sure that if we were to spin it enough, it would just pop out again, because this contact here between the plastic and the metal is no longer decent. So we'll just dump in some of this glue. As I always like to remind you guys, please, please, please do not attempt to do the things that I do on this channel. It would be a very bad day for you. I play with a lot of dangerous stuff. I combine things that should not be combined together. This propeller here is from an Atom RC Eachine drone. So it was not built by the engineers of Eachine to work together with this. So if you put it together, you know, it is a recipe for failure. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I run all these little LiPo batteries here. If you cut into the battery packs and stuff, they could catch fire and stuff. So, you know, I do a lot of dangerous stuff on the channel, and I just don't want other people to copy it. It can be amusing, it can be fun, it can be entertaining, and that's the point of it, right? But this is not a tutorial on how to do this. If on some cases I do have little tutorials, I will say tutorial in the description. But even then, take it with a grain of salt, okay? Take it with a grain of salt. Nobody should get injured because of the things that I say or do on the channel. Please, please don't. Risk it for brisket. So again, as you see here, I was talking about the blade. Blade is from one machine. This here motor is from the Skywind drone. So it's all a bunch of mismatched parts. I have cut out a bunch of the actual plane here so that I could accommodate for the propeller being in the position that it's in right now. And I need to glue bits in place because it's not perfectly in center just yet. It could still touch bits and pieces, as you can see here. So the original propeller was very, very small. The motor was also very small. In this case, the motor that's in here is smaller than the original motor. But again, as I explained before, by using the gear, it is able to spin a much larger propeller than the original motor, hence creating more lift than it would with a two-bladed propeller. This is a three, if my math is still correct, is a three-propeller propeller. All right, I gotta go back to bed and back to speech lessons. But anyway, aside from that, I think we should be good. I'm trying to make sure that the thingy majiggers here, the wires on here do not just bounce around into the propeller, because that'll be the first thing that stops us from going anywhere. So what I'm going to do is going to apply a tiny bit of glue at this point, this little junction here. There's a little bit of glue there already, and that should hopefully stop this from getting into trouble. A little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, just like Kung Fu Panda. But hopefully nobody's going to get hurt here, because we're not firing cannons in this case. Just trying to get things to stay away from the propeller. And hopefully they will stay away from the propeller. The propeller is going to be pushing air in the opposite direction, so that also will help relieve the chances of it smashing into that. I'm going to use the tip of this glue gun to reduce some of that. And here on the tips, we could also use this to burn off a little bit of the excess there, so that the propeller won't have to do that and brush against that bit. In here, I'm going to add a little tiny bit of glue just to stop this other piece in there from moving. It's wedged in pretty well, but, you know, better safe than sorry. You never know what's going to happen in flight. And also, flying in California means pretty hot sun, as we've noticed yesterday. The iPhone 13 just did not do well in the sunlight. It just really did not. It barely made it 5 minutes after having to quit itself out. So again, that is a safety feature. I like to snark about stuff. So because of the safety feature, the battery inside, probably another LiPo, did not burn and explode. So, but I don't know, maybe at some point they will develop a new technology that will allow for better run times in the sun. That would be cool, but it may not be actually physically possible to do at this point in time. So I will snark all day about Tim Cook when it comes to autofocus, because on the older iPhones, the autofocus was fantastic. The iPhone 5, the iPhone 6, all of those had really good focus. The iPhone 13 does not, so that's something that they messed up in the latest version of the software, probably not the hardware, because the newer cameras are better than the old ones. They just don't focus. So that's something that they can fix right away. As far as the heating is concerned, probably not. So we'll take the wins where we can, right? All right, so let's turn this thing on and see if it does anything at all. And it should, but then we won't know if it'll fly until we'll take it to the airfield. So one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. It is still a little bit balanced backwards, which is okay. I like that, because when it's a little bit balanced backwards for beginners like myself, we don't want to always be pressing on the down elevator just to push the nose down, and that's fine. Like if you're fighting the wind, that's because the wind is, if you're creating lift, the wind will maybe push the nose up, and so then you need to push the nose down to fight the wind. That's fine, but most beginners don't want to fly in the wind anyway. So if under like perfect conditions where there is no wind, if the plane is a little bit tail heavy, that stops it from nose diving into the ground, which is one of the reasons why beginners destroy their planes all the time. And why people who know what they're doing tend to fly with a lot of elevator pointed upwards. You see, one of the things that you're noticing right now is if you attach the battery the way that I did, the thing naturally wants to go down. Now this is the gyro pushing it up, but in the beginning when I had it set up, this thing was pointing downwards, which is what makes the nose smash into the ground. So the gyro is very capable on this plane and tries to stop you from doing that. But it's probably better to attach the battery the other way. Now, of course, I've modified the plane so many different times that it no longer has its nice battery hatch that stops the battery from falling out. So that's not a good thing, but what do you expect? What do you expect? Ah, we're getting great power again, just like yesterday. So if I bring it to the field today, we can try it one more time and see if this time it will run better. I heard something that I didn't like there. I hope it doesn't mean that it's already separated. There, let's see it one more time. I'm gonna hold the plane above ground so that it won't go anywhere. Okay, well actually no, that's fine. I thought it had already unglued itself from that bit there, but it seems that it has not. So now if I take it to the field, hopefully it will fly. Will it go straight? Let's test that out real quick in the kitchen. We'll push it up a little bit so you guys can see if it goes straight or not. Ooh, okay, so that's good. Because one of the problems we were having all day long yesterday was the thing would just not stay straight. Not stay straight at all. And it seems that now that has been corrected after endless fiddling. So the usual control surfaces work as they should. So we've got the usual left and right here, those bits. We've got the up and down. Up and down, no problem. And we've got the power there. We do not have reverse thrust. OMG. OMG. I just cannot talk, guys. Cannot. Not from lack of trying. But anyway, here we go. So everything seems really good. Really good. I'm excited. Maybe it'll fly today. Yesterday we got the J11 back in the air, and that was epic by my standards. I thought that thing was never going to fly again. It used to fly fantastic. And then all of a sudden, because, as I always tell you guys, batteries will get old over time. And so the original battery was no longer able to create enough lift for that thing. So we had to lighten the plane even further. Eventually we'll have to change the battery. But, you know, I don't have endless money to buy new batteries. So maybe we'll get some new batteries at some point, and it will fly even better than it does. But we've lightened the load on the other one, and also changed out the propellers on that one too. We used one from I think it's a JJRC. So as you guys know, I do a lot of fiddling and cross building. So in doing so, I use replacement parts from other planes and drones to make the things that I love get back in the air and stay there longer. So it seems like this is a pretty good result for today. And if this actually flies today, I will be ecstatic. But in the meantime, if you guys want to get yourself an RC Sailor shirt, like I did, you can get it from this QR code. All right, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this little ridiculous thing that I just did for you guys. And I will see you all in the next one with more videos and stuff like that. I am planning really, as soon as I have a little bit of time, to show you guys some of the 3D flights on the simulator, because that's fun. But it's just been so busy this whole week that I have not been able to get that done for you guys. But I do really plan to do more, because it's really fun to get on that simulator. And also the beauty of that is nobody could ever possibly get hurt unless the computer exploded on me, which is, you know, would be funny. Yeah. And you can, if you crash any planes on the simulator there, on Horizon's Hobbies Simulator there, I think it's called Real Flight 9.5 now, whatever. You just press a button and the plane, it could be like completely foobar, and it just resets back into its original spot on the taxiway or field, and you can just start flying it all over again, which is pretty cool. Anywho, I'll see you all soon. this is looking pretty cool, I think, anyway. Even, you know, let's pretend that this is a jet engine instead of a propeller engine. That would look pretty cool with something like that. But anyway, let's figure out if it flies. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care, guys.